Hello. I want to talk to you about how to set up a college fund using a Vanguard account for your kids' college fund. This is the way I chose to do it instead of using a 529, and I'm going to show you step by step of how I do it and the reasons why I do it. A couple of the reasons why I chose to go this route is because a 529 locks the money into your kid's name, and if they don't use it for school, then there's lots of penalties and taxes that you have to pay in order to get the money back out of the 529 plan, or the money has to be transferred to somebody else for their college. The way I choose to do it is to leave it in my name, and then I invest the money in using ETFs with a very low fee. 0.03% is so low that you'll never know. There's no commissions on trades in Vanguard, and as I'll show you, the fees are very low. And if your kids decide not to go to school, then you can give them the money for a down payment on a house, or you can use it for lots of different purposes for your kids instead of just college. But I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start here at pulling up Google. Type in Vanguard. Go to vanguard.com. And then once you get to this home page, you will take and come up here to open an account. And then you will open a new account. And what the type of account we will be open is just general investing. And you will click here, start a new account, and go through this little process. It'll take you about 10 minutes, just like opening up a credit card or a bank account. You can pause the video here and then resume after. The next step, after you get the account opened, this is using ETFs. And you say, what is an ETF? Well, this is a breakdown of what it is. ET stands for exchange traded. F stands for fund. And then down here, it's just all it is just a basket of stocks and bonds, all in one fund that you just buy at one time. Using a Vanguard fund, you have very little fees. ETF costs, commission free, and that's the summary on ETFs. And then another great benefit of Vanguard is investors, anybody that has an account, actually owns the company. As you can see here, 30 million investors own the funds that own the company. And that's a great benefit because Vanguard actually works for you. Just having that in the back of your mind makes you feel better about using the company. Actually, Warren Buffett recommends to his family, after he passes on, to take their inheritance, open up a Vanguard account, and invest the money in a S&P 500 ETF. Exactly what I'm going to show you. Cost and fees and minimums, next tab. The expense ratio, average Vanguard mutual fund and ETF is 82% less than the industry average. Vanguard fund trading fees, never pay a commission when you buy or sell Vanguard funds. 0 trading commissions. All good things that just going to leave more money in your account. That's what all this is saying. Going to the next tab here. Alright. Choosing a Vanguard ETF. Once you get to looking at all these here ETFs in your account that they have available, you can see that I have rated these for the max return growth since the account has been created. And 19%, 17%, and you can see that this here is 19%, but it has not been around but less than 5 years. So the one that I'm recommending is the S&P 500 down here, which is this one right here, VOO, VOO. And you can see it has returned almost 15%. And you can click on any one of these while you're doing research and do all this research inside the Vanguard website. So we're going to click on the S&P 500. And all the information about this one fund, the ticker symbol is VOO. And you can read all the stuff here about the product summary, asset class, category. This is a large blend. This is all the largest companies in America. There's about 500 different companies in this one fund that you would be buying at one time. And down here, hypothetical growth, if you had put $10,000 in this account in 2011, today you would have $35,142. There's lots of different information in here. Everything you want to know about this one fund is all right here. Always analyze and understand what you're putting your money into. Number of stocks, 509 different stocks in this one fund. And then here you are, largest holdings: Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, which is Google, Facebook, Tesla, Berkshire Hathaway, and this one right here is owned by Warren Buffett, and his company owns Geico for one, and lots and lots of other companies. Chase, Johnson & Johnson, Visa. All these are well-known companies that you've heard of your whole life. And back to the fees here. The Vanguard, with this fund right here, over the past 10 years, if you had invested $10,000, would only cost you $71 in expense ratios. You got your expense ratio is 0.03%. The average expense ratio is 0.89%, which would be the other guys, the other brokerage firms. That's why I recommend Vanguard for ETFs. Okay. Now, on to a little calculation here that I've done. The average annual return of the S&P, more or less, has been around 10 to 11%, roughly 8%. So go into a compound interest calculator website. You put an initial investment of $1,000 in the account with a monthly contribution of just $10 a month, and you could put any amount that you want. I prefer to set it up automated where it automatically drafts it out of your account once a month or twice a month. Length of time, 18 years for your kid to grow up, and they usually go to college when they turn 18, 19. And we're going to say the estimated interest rate is 8%, because 8% return of the S&P 500. Compound frequency, we're going to leave it monthly. And then calculating this here, in 18 years it would have grown to $9,000 from you just putting in $1,000 when you started up the account and $10 a month. Now we could go less on this here. Started up with just $100. And you would still have grown to $5,220. Where if you'd just been putting it in a piggy bank, after 18 years, you'd have $2,260. So all this here would be growth in the red, and this here is what you have put into the account. Now, we'll just throw one other number in here just for fun. If you put $100 in there a month, and we'll just say the market made 9%. You see how much it could grow. In 18 years, $54,137. Now, I actually have 2 kids. And I don't intend on paying 100% for their schooling. But, I expect them to work. Anything you work for, you appreciate more. I've had to work for my college education in my whole life. This right here would have probably paid for the majority of my schooling. So I got handed $1,000, which was a blessing, but that's all I got handed from my family. This right here would have been a blessing unknown, paying for books, school, and then not to mention with inflation, what college is going to cost in 18 years. You just never know. Plus, like I said, you don't know if your young'un is going to want to go to school, or if they want to just take and do a trade route like I did. I've done mighty well just going to trade school and becoming an electronics technician. That has done me well. And that money there could be used for anything, because this is money in your account that you can take and give to them. It's not locked up in any kind of IRA. It's just a traditional account. So you can do whatever you want to with this money. It's not locked up. Now, when you sell the stocks or the fund, you will have to take and pay a small sales gain. Well, it'd be called a income gain tax. No, capital gains tax. That's right. That'll be a little bit of a fee that you have to pay, but that's just taxes for you. Anyway, this here is what I have chosen to do for my 2 kids, and I decided whenever the first one gets old enough, I'll just take half of the money, give it to the first one to go to school, and when the next one goes to school, I'll take the rest out and give it to that one. That's what I decided to do. It was the easiest for me. I got full control over the money. Vanguard, got my back. Everything I see is just good information. It's super simple, and you got all these different funds that you can take and look into here. There's 75 Vanguard ETFs right here. These are just ETFs that Vanguard has. There are several other companies that have ETFs. But if you use a ETF that Vanguard has, you're going to have a lot lower fees. And you can look right here and see the expense ratio just without even clicking on it. You can take and scan down and see the fees. And they're all usually less than 1%. Here's some here that's 2%. Out in there is 0.05%. And they just lowered, not too long ago, the fee on the S&P 500 from 0.04 to 0.03, I believe. Yes, I'm right. There it is right there. So anyway, I hope that all this information is helpful for you. And it's very simple. After you pick a fund to take and purchase it, after you had the account open, you would just click on this here, and then it'd be an option for you to take and buy this one fund, and you just type in how many shares you want. If one share is $363.68, That's how much money you got to have to just buy one share of VU. It's pretty straightforward, and I hope that this has been informative to you. Have a good day.